Alright, Marissa, we're going to watch your backstroke here. As we're watching your backstroke, do make sure you take some time to check out the notes that Lynette's put in the video, or the email as well. Just different things we see in the video that you're doing really well, different things we see in the video that we want to see you just try to improve upon. A great opportunity just to take some time before or after practice, or even before, after, or even during a meet if you don't have time to watch the video. As we know, they tend to be a little bit long sometimes. We see a lot of things we really like, especially with your catch underwater. Definitely see some good kicks, but we definitely need to see those legs up a little bit higher. All things will kind of go over here. Flip. Looks good. Always love to see dolphin kicks going off. Alright, so let's go ahead and begin this over just a little bit. Alright, Marissa. So the first thing here, as we get that right hand, let me try and get that back a little bit. We get that right hand to start to enter that water. We can see that your left hand is here, your right hand is up here, and it's just about to enter the water. When we enter, we want to make sure that we're going pinkies first, so you're catching good water out to the side. The other thing we like to see is we like to see your shoulders a little bit on a slant. We could get a little bit better shoulder roll, I think, if we get those shoulders a little bit higher. But we also like how you get a slight bend in your elbow. What we want to do is try and get that elbow a little bit more deep, so your hand's not quite so far away from where your body is. Okay, you don't want to be pulling out quite so wide. As we're getting ready to enter with that left hand, you can start to see that your head is starting to look back. And we'll look at that more when we get above water. But as I can see it underwater, so let's just make sure we kind of point it out. Make sure you keep that head nice and still. You don't want to be moving while you're swimming the backstroke. All right, as you enter that water here with that left hand, as you get in, it almost looks like you're going fingertips first. You can see those are more your fingertips there instead of your pinky. You want to make sure that pinky is entering first. So when you're thinking about your hands, it's always thumb out, pinky in. Okay? So we'll see that again above water, but it's definitely something we're seeing here underwater. Don't put that wrist back. Make sure you turn your wrist with your forearm and turn from your thumb to your pinky. As we start to do that pull right here, you're turning your hand exactly where you need to be. We absolutely love that. But we do want to see this other hand getting up a little bit quicker. While you can see it's right here, it should already be up by your side starting that next stroke. Okay, so we don't want to let those hands stay underwater quite as long as they are. As you start to get about halfway through that pull, you can start to see that you're bending your elbow a little bit, but your hand's a little bit lower than we want to see it. We want to see that hand, instead of being here, that hand being a little bit more here. So lift that hand up just a little bit more on that left side. Now here on the right side, it does look like you're going a little more pinky than with your fingertips there on the right side. So we like that a lot. And you're doing a much better job on that right side also of trying to keep your hand a little more shallow, okay? So you want to make sure that elbow comes down a little bit better, and then your fingertips are still right where they need to be. Right there is perfect. And what I like is your palm pointing towards this wall down here, and you're kind of basically throwing water towards your feet or towards the opposite wall, which is exactly what we want to see. Now you can see that right here, when you first enter, it's going in with those fingertips, and then you do a great job of turning that pinky right there. So make sure we just enter with that pinky. Great job of like spreading your fingers a little bit, which kind of extends that paddle. And we think the paddle, the bigger that paddle is, sometimes the better you are. You don't want it quite so wide that there's a lot of air, but where you have right here, it looks good. And again, we really like, you can see you got a good shoulder roll right here. So we like how deep you're going. That's awesome. Again, good job of bending that elbow. Way to go there. All right, so as we get a little bit closer, let's look at those legs. There we saw some white water coming from those feet. Your left knee is coming up a little bit high at times, and you can kind of see, let me rewind just a little more flat. And that water, you roll it to the right side. All right, as we get here, we can kind of see and your hips are a little bit low in that water, right? And your legs are up here. You want to make sure to keep that head in a neutral position like that. But try to lift those hips up a little bit better to stay a little bit more on top of that water. If your hips are up, those legs are going to be a lot stronger and a lot faster. We're going to see that white water we want to see all the time. Right here you can see your kicks is almost halfway. It's not kicking all the way up. So we got to get those legs up a little bit higher. As we go into that turn, a couple things. Number one, where you turned over, excellent. So way to go there. Right here, you can see that your eyes are looking a little bit more towards that wall. Keep those eyes straight down. All right, so as this hand is finishing that stroke, your hand is going to get to your hip. When your hand gets to your hip, you want to flip. You can see that you're bending your elbows up and your palms are facing in towards your legs there. What you want to do is make sure you're thinking about when your hands are at your hips, as you're getting ready to start that turn your palms down towards the water and think as if you're throwing water at your face, okay? You want to try and bring those hands right to the face so you get a better streamline. You can see here that your hands right now are kind of out to the side. You want to make sure those hands are a lot closer to your body, not quite so wide. Right here, halfway through your turn, great job on your legs, great job on your head, but your hands are what we want to work on, okay? That should be a little bit closer so we're almost in that good streamline. As we hit that wall, we can see the streamline is on the side of those ears. Remember, we want it right behind those ears to make it as tight as you can. And the other thing is you can see your legs are really wide apart. Keep those feet a little bit closer together. Really more about shoulder width apart, like hip width apart. You don't want them right next to each other, but you do want them closer together. Good job of dolphin kicking 3. So that's about 3 or 4 dolphin kicks. But here's what we want to work on, okay? You can see that your head's breaking the water, but you're actually still in a semi-streamlined position. You didn't really start your first stroke. The breakout stroke is that first stroke as you come off that turn. So we want to make that a little bit earlier than what we saw here. As you can see, we're getting closer to the top of the water right here. And you can definitely see where your arms really aren't quite streamlined as well as we know you can do. Right about here is where you want to start flutter kicking and then get those arms starting to move. All right. Now here's where the flags are. So we do want to make sure a couple different things. Number one, when you push off the wall, wait for 2 seconds before you start dolphin kicking. Number 2, 6 dolphin kicks. Yes? Always 6 dolphin kicks. All right. So as we start that right here, this is where we want to get that first stroke moving. You can see heads above the water, and you've really yet to start that first stroke, and now here we go. And the other thing, be careful, look at that hand. You can see that fingertips are kind of dragging with your arm. Keep it strong, right in line with that forearm, okay? Marissa, you were so good. You were so talented. We're thrilled that you did the video. And wow, that looks good right there. A little shallow on that arm, but again, remember, don't let those hands stay at your side so long. Great job, Marissa.